Welcome, wonderful people, to the Sunday Rune and Card reading. We are governed by three very beautiful angels today. Guys, welcome back to those of you who are following the readings. I know some of you check in every week for the weekly readings for guidance and direction. And I'm in the middle of doing the big monthlies for February. And I've just also posted an energy update. I was really sort of called to do an energy update on the kind of incoming astrological energy. So for anyone that's interested in that side of things, do check that reading. It's not a reading, it's just me speaking about the energy, but do check that one out, that video out too. Guys, if you're wanting notifications, do make sure that you press the little bell icon as well as subscribing, and that way you should receive notification as soon as I put up any new readings, any new videos. I'm also working on a series of meditations, overnight sleep meditations. Lots of people have been asking me to do that. Apparently my voice is very soothing and calming. So anyway, I'm working on those, and they're all about removing different blocks within us, and so that, yeah, the energy can work with us overnight while we sleep. Anyone new to the channel, welcome. As I said, we are very much becoming a community here of spiritual warriors. I put a lot of free stuff into the world. I offer a free private reading as well to one of my subscribers every month, and I will be offering some of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, some packs of those as soon as they are ready, to some subscribers. I'll be drawing names out of a hat, so just check out the information box for all of that kind of stuff. So wonderful people, let us tune in to these readings, and let's listen to the angel guidance for each one as well. Reading 1, we have honey calcite. The energy of honey calcite is about leadership. It's about us being able to step up into the very best version of who we are. It's leadership, it's overcoming obstacles, it's recovery from challenging or abusive or difficult or toxic situations. The energy is so supportive. Reading number 2, big energy of protection. Now, we have a black obsidian angel. The energy of black obsidian is so deep. A black obsidian mirror is considered to be a mirror of the soul. But I hear a very clear message here. This energy today is very much centered on protection and the ability to, it's almost like honoring your journey or honoring some stage of your journey. I'll leave it at that, because I think it's important that we do the readings as we do them, rather than tuning too much into what might be said within them as yet. Our third reading, green aventurine. Green aventurine is a lovely energy. Green aventurine removes energy blocks within us. Very, very good for our physical health. I always feel, for me, the energy of green aventurine somehow seems to align me in a position where I'm able to kind of connect with source and yet be grounded and centered at the same time. It's very much the energy of green aventurine, or certainly how I experience it. So wonderful people, I will leave you to tune in to whichever reading is speaking to you. The timings should already be on the screen for you, and they are also in the information box below, so you can always skip the waffle at the beginning of these readings and just go straight to whichever reading you are wanting to connect in with. Guys, so much love to you all. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, comments, for subscribing. Subscribing helps to keep the channel going, and it helps me to be able to continue to put free stuff into the world. So thank you so much, all of you. So much love to you all. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1, governed by our beautiful honey calcite angel, leadership, overcoming obstacles. Now, our first rune is the rune of harvest. We then have the rune of flow in reverse and the rune of openings. Now, harvest speaks of a cycle. It sometimes refers to the cycle of a year, but it's ultimately, it's speaking about fruition, about the possibility of a harvest, but we have to kind of work at it, and there is a natural cycle that we have to move through, or things have to grow at their own pace, basically. Now, flow in reverse would suggest that something is slower in coming to fruition or in moving forwards than we want. Curiously enough, what I'm hearing is it's as though there's some kind of deliberation. There's procrastination is a word that's around, actually, but there's a weighing up or a deciding. I don't know if there's some element of indecisiveness, but I would say that there's an energy shift within that, or that's certainly what this reading is suggesting so far, the runes. There's an energy shift. You find direction, you find clarity, openings out of darkness into light, finding your direction, knowing where you're going. It sort of has a sense of a commitment about it. Let's draw our cards and move them all around and lay them out. So we have the card of Father, the Father. We have Queen of Earth, again a mother card really, a father card, a mother card. King of Air. It's interesting, and the mother. Wow, there's a real balance here between the masculine and the feminine. It's as though, let's talk through the cards. The father card. The father's leadership, again, authority, stepping up, taking responsibility for ourselves, grounded, having boundaries, knowing where we want to go. So there's a lovely containment of energy here. This may actually be somebody in your world, actually. Now, if this is your energy, I think you're ready to make a decision, to move something forwards. There is this there's a duality of energy, there's a paradox of energy. It's almost as though within, let's say within partnership, it's almost as though one person is ready to commit, the other is still not sure. There's a deliberation going on. Now that paradox could be sitting within you. It may be that you're not sure. It may be that somebody around you seems to be a little bit ambivalent. But one way or the other, this is either your energy or it's the energy of somebody else that's sitting around you. One of you is ready to commit, to move forwards, wanting to take that direction. The other is, it's not that you're not. There's a lot of intuition here. There's a lot of groundedness, there's a lot of love, there's a richness. I feel as though there is a process of moving into some kind of clarity of direction. Commitment is the word that's coming through. King of Air. Interestingly, ethics are involved. There's something really important about... I feel for some of you, this is definitely connected to a relationship issue, but if we think about the way that the energy affects us each individually, there is an issue of ethics. It's like doing the honourable thing, or holding firm to your principles, holding your values, and yet holding them with love, with compassion. There's an authenticity in the Queen of Earth. I mean, she is the Earth Mother. And then we have the Mother, unconditional love. All of these cards have a duality, but none are in reverse positions. So it does feel as though some of you are about to make a commitment. Now, whether that is to a person, a project, a direction, a new attitude within yourselves, I think for some of you it is around relationship. There's been a lot of deliberation. And as I said, maybe a reticence. Let's see what the other cards are showing us. So we have Queen of Wands. Let's move these down. Our runes, are we still in the camera? Yes, we are. Great. We have Queen of Wands. We have the Moon. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Knight of Pentacles. This is feminine power, loyalty of the heart. Again, values, integrity. The Moon is... for me, always a rite of passage. We're coming out of, again, out of darkness into light. We're working through something that's in our shadow self, the unconscious self. What I'm hearing is, it's as though to move forwards and to make a commitment to something, I think you're ready to step up. Again, this lovely energy of honey calcite, overcoming obstacles, leadership, becoming our own hero or heroine. Sometimes as it indicates the recovery from an abusive situation. I feel like you guys have had to dive deep in order to process something. There's a depth of the moon, the unconscious, to process something in order to be able to move forwards and to make a commitment to something, to move yourselves forwards. Just going to move our runes up here so we have a little bit more space. And this is this process of flow in reverse. You've been working through something in the depths of your unconscious, or indeed somebody you are connected to has been needing to process something. The opportunity here is to emerge with new direction, the rite of passage. It's as though you find a direction through some conflict. Something's presented itself to you, or some situation or circumstance. I won't say that it's hindered you, because actually it's allowed you to grow. Some aspect of yourself has become apparent. You move through to a space of greater commitment, I think. It's just you've needed to deliberate first. You're still in this space of, I don't even want to say weighing things up. It's like you've been immersed in some kind of shadow aspect, or you've been experiencing the shadow aspect of someone else. The key here has been to hold the vision of this through understanding, compassion, kindness, with a view to moving beyond that conflict into a space of emergence. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, again, very lovely. Guys, this is either you or it's someone else who is around. They're ready to make a commitment to you. They're ready to commit. They're ready to move forwards. There's a humbleness in the Knight of Pentacles. When he comes into our world, again, there's the beginnings of what I would call making a commitment to a really earthy, grounded phase of life. Guys, if you have been deliberating, it's quite interesting. I'm hearing lots of connections to family. And for some of you, that might mean processing something of your family of origin in order to free yourself to find your own direction and pathway. For some of you, it's about making a commitment to move into a space of family, some kind of a commitment. Or someone is wanting to make a commitment to you and you have been deliberating, or you're deliberating whether you should take that step and make a commitment to them. Often these transitions actually do involve a little bit of a journey into the unconscious depths, because when we enter a phase of commitment to anything, whether it's a person or a project or a new venture or a new attitude or a new perspective, we often have to process the conflicts of the past, and they often have a family origin. Let's draw on our last cards. Internal dialogue. We all have an internal dialogue within our mind, a constant stream of inner conversation. Is your dialogue kind, supportive and affirming, or is it critical and judgmental of both yourself and others? This card asks you to listen to your inner words and, if necessary, take steps to consciously change your language. Guys, are some of you talking yourself out of something? Are the fears, that repetitive inner dialogue, if I do this, this might happen and that might happen, the fears that we carry with us that go way, way back? Or what if a pattern emerges? You have choices. Let go gracefully. Something in your life is calling for you to let it go gracefully. Or to let go gracefully. Whatever has taken place in the past, it is time to move forwards, and letting go will make way for the new. Whether this is a person, a situation, an outdated thought or behaviour pattern, this card comes to assure you that new horizons are waiting for you. I think for most of you guys, this is the journey into the shadow aspects of ourselves. It's to do with some aspect of history. I'm hearing the origins are to do with our primary family of origin, and there is a letting go, yes, self-care. Self-care is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of consciousness. Before I read this, I'm really hearing a very clear message. I think there's been a fear of commitment, for fear of being overwhelmed by the commitment. It's almost as though there's a fear that goes way, way back into, as I said, it is family of origin. And it's as though if you make a commitment, then somehow you're so beholden to other people that you lose yourself, or you lose some entitlement to make your own choices. That's a system of the past, but there's a very clear message here. There's some kind of fear of commitment, for fear that somehow you get overwhelmed, you lose your own identity, you won't be respected. For some of you, you may even have had some relationships that have followed a pattern where you've entered into them and somehow that person has dominated, and now you're in a position where there's a fear of making a commitment to somebody who is ready and waiting for you, but the fear has been getting in the way. I'm not seeing an energy of anyone trying to overwhelm. There's no toxicity in relationships. It's simply a processing of some kind of deep inherent anxieties. You have every right to look after yourself. This card invites you to prioritize your own self-care. This may feel selfish to you, but in truth, when you attend to your own needs with love and care, you create an inner wealth that radiates into the world, impacting positively on all that you come into contact with. Very, very interesting, because it's as though there's a fear that you'll lose the entitlement to look after yourself. It's as if you've learned to look after yourself when you're on your own, but the moment you get involved in relationships, it's as though you've lost that, or somebody else has taken it over. That doesn't need to be the way it is. And the energy of the person or the project or the situation that you're moving into feels very, very healthy. There's a commitment and a genuine, there's this unconditional love. And actually, in reality, in our grown-up relationships, there shouldn't be unconditional love. That's the love we have maybe for our children, and indeed for ourselves. Love in adult relationships should have some conditions, because we don't accept abuse. You know, a condition of a relationship is actually we honour one another, we respect one another. So, you know, actually the unconditional aspect of love is self-love. It's the love we offer in a way that means that we, you know, true unconditional love means we honour one another's sort of essence and spirituality, the soul of one another, with such respect that we also know when to say no. So, you know, that's the flavour here. This has got a very rich, rewarding energy around it. You're coming from a space of conflict, but I think the conflict has been predominantly within you, or indeed it may be in a partner or someone around you, but there is emergence, there's new direction, and commitment is the word I'm really hearing, but it feels a healthy commitment. Really lovely, lovely energy here, guys. This is really gorgeous. So guys, so much love to you. If any of the cards and runes are speaking to you, there's a page on my website that in the information box below you'll find it with links to all of these, every card I ever use. And just to update you on the Art of Manifestation cards, I had hoped they would be emerging and being released during January. There's been an issue with quality, not with the cards themselves, they are stunning, but with the book that came with them. So it means we've had to look elsewhere, but interestingly enough, the delay has meant that we've found some really stunning sort of places for the book to emerge from, using all kind of recycled materials, renewable resources, small teams of really dedicated people working to really high quality. So really, really lovely. A diversion, I think, one of those learning curves that the diversions lead us to much better resources and the direction we're meant to go in. So big learning curve for me in sort of stepping up and walking my talk. But guys, there is an email list now that you can join yourself to if you're interested in knowing when, as soon as these cards are ready. A lot of people have emailed me. If you're on the email list, you will also have an opportunity to potentially be one of the first people to reserve a pack and have a pre-order at a discounted rate, because it will be a limited edition print. So much love to you guys. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2 with the energy and protection of obsidian. Deep psychic cleanse, the depths of the soul. Real powerful energy this beautiful little angel has. So our runes, we have the blank rune. We have the rune of journey. That's really interesting, because the rune of journey is all about travelling inwards. Sometimes it can mean a literal journey, but as a general rule, it's about travelling inwards, deep within ourselves, removing any obstacles we have to our own pathway, our own progress. So very, very interesting energy here. And we have the rune of disruption. Wow, there's a need to break free from something. The rune of disruption for me it's a bit like the planet of Uranus, the great awakener. Sometimes that kind of energy means that something happens that causes us a great disruption, but there's real purpose to it. It's like there is a message, a learning curve, there's something we need to know, and the universe is presenting it to us. Sometimes it's more like a gradual awakening, where I won't say we come to our senses, but something comes to light, something that's been niggling makes sense, and it helps us to establish the bigger picture, to be able to see with clarity. So there's quite a systematic, with the journey rune as well, a systematic process. This is all about new beginnings, new opportunities. We have the blank rune. The blank rune is the infinite source of possibility that sits in the unknowable future. It's a magical energy of potential, of new opportunities. It often shows itself alongside, when it's alongside the rune of disruption, it means that there are new opportunities available to you. You are needing possibly to journey inwards to remove any inner obstacles to that potential, to either see the doorways of opportunity or to be able to feel confident to step through them. I'm just going to actually move these up here because we're going to need a bit of room as we draw our cards. Let's just move everything down and around. There we go. Our first card, this is interesting. This is a card of ambition. 3 of Earth, sowing seeds, new opportunities, increased opportunities very often. Again, connecting in with this rune, the King of Earth. Wow, guys, this is a card of success. You know, for me, there's also a lovely earthy energy. Obviously, it's the King of Earth, but there's something about the masculine energy of success, of ambition, ambition that comes to fruition. You're also called to honour your process. It's like taking things steadily, one step at a time. We have 10 of fire and 6 of fire. Interesting. This is self-mastery. This is a card of, I would say, enlightenment, of mindfulness, of being able almost literally to channel the information you need. That's actually what is coming through very clearly. There's possibilities, new possibilities open to you, but you are being asked to sort of almost tune into your heightened levels of intuition, to walk mindfully, be grounded, honour the process of your ambitions emerging. There's a lot of protection around you. Very interesting energy in this reading. 6 of fire. This is about healing and mediation, negotiation. Somehow diplomacy is needed. That's the energy I'm hearing again of protection around you. I want to say, what is it that you're wanting, and maybe what is it that you are afraid of? I'd almost venture to say, who are you afraid of? Or is there somebody you're needing to be quite tactful, quite diplomatic about this negotiation? But there's possibly some fear within you around this. It's a very curious energy. Let's just see what we have here. 9 of Wands. This is interesting because it's like a final testing. It's like you can see you are wanting to break free from something. There's a need to break free from something that's been restricting you. It could be an attitude. It could, for some of you, be a person or a situation. It's like you know what you want, I think. You have that clear vision, but it's like you're not quite sure. Do you know, I don't think it's that you're even not sure how to navigate this. You know what you want, and I think you know that there's a bit of navigation to get there, but there's some anxiety around the process of navigation. There's a little bit of fear, and for some of you maybe quite a lot of fear. It's as though you've kind of got to, in this image, in this card, this final testing, it's like you can see the shore, you can see the beacons, you know where you're going, but you've got to navigate this kind of, this shoreline. The waves are crashing around, and you're needing to navigate possibly some quite intense emotions. Yeah, this is a card of nostalgia, 6 of Cups. But this is lovely, 4 of Wands, and this is also lovely, the Devil, wonderful. 6 of Cups, nostalgia, looking back, seeing things clearly. This is the process. You are being asked to honour your process. There's whatever you're negotiating and whatever you're coming through, it's kind of reached into the depths. Now, if we think about the energy, oops, sorry little angel, the energy of black obsidian, deep psychic cleanse, protection, it's a warrior stone. The black obsidian mirrors, I actually have one. If it was near to hand, I'd just get it to show you. The thing about the black obsidian mirrors, they are used in journeying. They're used in shamanic journeying. And it is said that when you look into a black obsidian mirror, you will see yourself, you meet yourself at the sort of the depths of your soul. It's like walking into a hall of mirrors where you see all these different versions of yourself, and they all might look a little bit distorted, but every single one of them is some aspect of you. And the benefit of that is that we get to really deeply, psychically cleanse. It's like we're in tune with the darker, the shadow side of ourselves. But there's a lot of protection offered here. You're needing to navigate and negotiate something. And there is some fear and anxiety around it. And yet at the same time, you're sowing seeds for the future. There's so much possibility that is being offered, promised, suggested. Obviously, free will and conscious choice is up to us what we do in any situation. But you are needing to break free, to let go, I think, of something. 6 of Cups says that you are in a space of review. But you see things very clearly. This is the journeying. So there's some real depth. And I want to say, guys, courage. That's what's really coming through. You need to sit with that. The courage has been looking inwards. Not just dealing with outward stuff, but looking inwards. It's your ability to integrate your experiences and the learning from those experiences into your kind of bank of knowledge that give you the ability to kind of be processing this experience and navigating whatever it is you're navigating from a place of mindfulness. Now, the 4 of Wands sitting underneath, these two cards together are wonderful. The 4 of Wands it's like a card for me of celebration. It's like... it's a harvest. It's not a harvest, the card of harvest in terms of a final harvest, but it's like a stage. You've gone through an initial stage of something and you're ready for the next part of the voyage. You're actually ready for this negotiation. You're ready for this. You have a level of awareness. The devil invites you to be your authentic self. Take an ownership of who you are and every aspect of yourself. Again, that hall of mirrors. It's like, none of us are perfect, but my goodness me, it's in acknowledging our imperfections that we grow. You are navigating something, that's for sure. And the key to your success here is to do with this inner journeying. And this is a card of success, it's a card of harvest. I think you've done the work. There are fears and anxieties around the negotiation, and there's a need to sort of mediate and to be diplomatic about the way that you're proceeding. But you are sowing seeds, and there is a lovely energy around you in terms of the potential for success. Just be steadfast, be steady, honour your process. Be reliable, be consistent. Your integrity is what holds you in this space of clarity. You've done nothing wrong. Lovely. Whatever has taken place was out of your control and out of your hands. This card asks you to let go of any feelings of guilt or personal blame. This was not your fault. You've done nothing wrong. You are navigating your way through something, guys. That will be unique and individual to you each. It wasn't your fault. Actually, what I'm hearing is some of you have overburdened yourself with a sense of responsibility. And yeah, for sure, there is mediation needed, negotiation through mediation. But you haven't done anything wrong. Don't carry the weight of something that doesn't belong to you. Intention. Intention is a focused thought. Prayer is a focused thought. Worry is also a focused thought. Notice the predominant thoughts that you hold in your mind, because these are actually sending a request into the universe. If necessary, consciously make adjustments to your thinking pattern. I think, so there is an aspect of fear here. There's so much protection around you. You've done the journeying inwards. There is opportunity, possibility, new horizons, sowing seeds, new ambitions. But this is also a phase of preparation. Sowing seeds is always a phase of preparation. You need to be steadfast, reliable, steady in your approach. You have a level of awareness that is really, really honourable. This is the pathway of the spiritual warrior, always striving for that level of awareness and self-responsibility. Guys, huge respect, namaste, big love to you all. But you haven't done anything wrong. I'm hearing clearly you have carried the responsibility. In your desire to be self-responsible, you've carried more responsibility than is yours to carry. You are asked to be your authentic self, take an ownership of who you are, but don't take an ownership of anything that doesn't belong to you. For those of you, and I suspect this will apply to most of you who connect in with this reading, you are very sensitive. You tune into the energy of others, which means you tend to take on the responsibility of stuff that isn't always yours to carry. You do need to negotiate. Hold your position, but do so with love, with light. You do need to break free from something. And for some of you, the breaking free is simply the internal journeying where you let go of this immense feeling of guilt, as if everything is your fault and your responsibility, when it truly, truly isn't. And again, then when we start to worry, as this card says very clearly, intention is a focused thought, prayer is a focused thought, and worry is a focused thought. When we are, you can set an intention and meditate in the morning for 10 or 15 minutes. That's amazing. But if you spend the rest of your day worrying, you're putting a greater amount of focused thought around of what you don't want into the world rather than what you do. Okay, obviously within meditation, our intentions are given a greater kind of energetic power because we're in a zone where we're clear of other stuff. But really try not to worry. That's also part of coming through into the shore, coming through this situation. being your authentic self. Walk to the beat of your own drum. Persevere. Who would have thought that a humble acorn could grow into a mighty oak tree? But of course this takes time. Whatever you are involved in, this card brings a message of reassurance. Your hard work and continued effort and dedication will come to fruition. You are asked to persevere and trust. I have such a clear message coming through as I'm reading this card. Some of you you're needing to negotiate your way out of something. And there is someone or a certain group of people or a situation where the emphasis of blame has been pushed in your direction, and your desire to be self-responsible means you've really taken it on. The final testing, I think you've been worn down a little bit, some of you, by this situation or by certain people or individuals. That's what you're needing to liberate yourself from. The Nine of Wands is this incredible energy that comes with the Nine of Wands when we reach a space where we're worn down and we just think we're never going to make it. We find a surge of energy that pushes us through, and it opens up new horizons, new opportunities. There's some sadness involved in letting go, moving on, but you complete this, you come through it. This is, as I said, there's a lot of authenticity around you. The bit you're needing to shake off and ground yourself in is the knowledge that it was not your fault. That's that source of empowerment where you don't have to do battle, you just know who you are from within. Lot of protection around you guys. So much love to you. Guys, if the cards or the runes are speaking to you, any particular ones, do check in. There's a link below if you're wanting to work with runes and cards for yourselves. Every pack I use and the runes are all on that page. There's on my website. The link is in the information box, so you can access any of them. And just to update you on the Art of Manifestation cards, for those of you that are kind of following their progress, we thought they were emerging into the world. Guys, there's now an email list that you can put yourself on if you're wanting to have updates. A lot of people have been contacting me about them. And if you're on that list, it will also give you an opportunity as soon as we have definite dates for their emergence to reserve a pack, and also to potentially, well, not potentially, you will be able to pre-order at a discounted rate, because it will be a limited edition pack of cards. The first edition will be a limited edition. I'm waffling away when actually you guys have a great deal on your mind already, but you emerge through this, guys. You really can come out the other side. There's so much affirmation here, so much protection. There is so much honouring of your own process and the journey you've been through to get to where you are today. Guys, so much love to you. Welcome to reading number 3 with our beautiful green Aventurine angel, removing energy blocks. Really full of health and vitality and a real nurturing energy as well. So let's look at our runes. We have the rune... I need to just do that again. Should have checked in on that first, shouldn't I? Oh, nothing there. Welcome to reading number 3, overseen by our beautiful green Aventurine energy angel, removing energy blocks. And then we'll just do that again. Where's all that? What's the energy around this one about? This is interesting. Welcome to reading number 3, overseen by our beautiful green Aventurine angel. Very good for physical health, really nurtures, the energy of this angel really nurtures, removing energy blocks for us. So our first rune, the rune of possessions. This is a rune of nourishment, unexpected rewards and gains, and interestingly now we have the rune of strength and the rune of breakthrough. Wow, guys, this is pretty big, actually. So the rune of possessions, we are It can sometimes suggest unexpected rewards, gains, surprises, but it's about nourishment. It's about something coming into fruition. The rune of strength, terminations, and new beginnings. Now, this is a rune of transition. It's as though some aspect of our lives has outgrown its form. It's usually often connecting to some kind of an inner attitude, some kind of, again, something that may be within us, an energy block within us that was holding us back. The rune of breakthrough, wonderful energy. Sometimes it can mean that we really do change direction, big time. Sometimes it just means we reach that breakthrough moment and we therefore step up into a bigger, better, more authentic version of ourselves. That's the kind of energy that's around. Let's move those runes up here and we will have a look at our cards. Oh, they're itching to come out. So, let's place these here. This is interesting. Be focused. Keep your mind and emotions connected. Keep your intentions. Keep your eye on the target. Keep your eye on the goal. Very interesting. 4 of fire. We have the 6 of earth. This is quite curious. It's almost quite a paradoxical energy. In one way, there's like an invitation to move forwards. Go for it. Go ahead. Be clear about what you want. Set your intentions and take action. You're also being asked to remain very grounded at the same time. I want to almost say, rather than grounded, actually centered is what I'm hearing. It's, being a channel for the divine. I guess, there may be a connection to making sure your intentions, goals, targets are, I want to say divinely guided, but it's about in tune with, either in tune with more than just us. That's what I'm kind of connecting in with. Masculine, feminine, this is interesting because this is about balancing, realigning. I think you are definitely being asked to, you're in a process of transition, but I think the shift is an inner one actually in this particular reading. I think it's more to do with some kind of an inner shift. Now, and yet here we have a card of relationship here. The 2 of water. Intimacy, closeness. Okay, so actually I'll draw the other cards before I voice what I think I'm hearing. We have the card of strength, 3 of wands, 6 of swords, King of pentacles. I want to say don't lose yourself in relationship. When we meet and we fall in love, and it's almost, I also want to say for some of you, it's like we can fall in love with an idea as well. We can, if we're focused, we have a goal, a target, a desire. We need, in order to manifest successfully, to sort of hold our desire and yet remain completely grounded and connected to source simultaneously, so that along with our desires, intentions, we're also open to input from the universe, as it were. So there's quite, as I said, there's a paradoxical energy here. The card of strength. Again, I'm getting a very clear message. It's kind of like, I feel like it's like the goal-driven ego mind versus the spiritual centered part of ourselves. You're being asked to pull the two together. Actually, that's what I'm really hearing. It's like you're definitely coming, you've achieved something, you've come through something, you've started something, whether that's a relationship, a business venture, wherever you are in your personal circumstances, you're at a place of, it's like the completion of a beginning. You've moved far enough along to see some success in what you're doing. Something's working for you. And it's like that gives us lots of enthusiasm. It fires us up, which is wonderful. And kind of success is promised here. So, and if anything, actually you're being, these cards are really speaking, you're being asked to embrace your success. That's what I'm really hearing. So it's like giving yourself permission to have your goals. This feels like a reading of affirmation with a lot of guidance. It's like if you have any energy blocks to owning your success, anything that's been holding you back. Now that can be success. I really want to talk about desire. This is a reading that is about manifesting your desires. You've already initiated something of that. Now whether your desires are currently focused on, you know, your work, your career path, or whether they are focused on relationship or home life, whatever your desires, and it may be both, you are being asked, firstly, to honour your entitlement. Yeah, you are a child of light. Honour your entitlement, and it's like it's very permission giving. At the same time, and this is this sort of paradoxical energy, you're also being asked to make sure, or it's not make sure, that's the wrong language, to align your intentions with a higher vision. It's like that's the key to your success. This wonderful breakthrough rune, wonderful energy of strength, terminations, new beginnings. It's a transition, unexpected rewards, gains. It's almost as though something is coming into your life, that there's a validation and acknowledgement of something. And you are coming out of a phase where I think you've had to work incredibly hard to be where you are, and you've had to overcome a certain degree of conflict to get to where you are. Now, the energy of, I want to say, abundance is around you, but you're needing to take an ownership of it. But also, it's kind of like, be careful what you wish for. You know, have your enthusiasm, have your passion, have your desires, and yet remain grounded at the same time. It's like own your success, celebrate it, and yet be humble at the same time. Dive into relationship, into love, into intimacy, absorb yourself, immerse yourself in the space of being connected to someone else, and yet remain separate. That's this sort of paradoxical energy here. But it's paradoxical in a way that connects wholeheartedly to manifestation of whatever you are desiring in your life. And you've paved the way. You've done a lot of work to be where you are. This is like, enjoy your success. Yeah? Treasure every moment of success. Don't just be moving on to the next step or the next goal along the way. Hold the goal and the vision. Do keep that in mind. If you're feeling fired up, passionate about the next step in the journey, fabulous. But don't forget to stop and celebrate where you are right now. Honour your achievements. Validate yourself. Accept validation when it comes your way. Giving and receiving. This is lovely. Give and take is different to giving and receiving. Taking and receiving are not the same. When we take, whoever we take from may or may not have chosen to give. However, when we receive, choice and respect are an integral part of the exchange. Let go of any need to take and embrace the harmony of giving and receiving. Again, this is about celebrating your success. There's a very strong message here. You're at a pivotal moment of, I can't say it's a pivotal moment of a new beginning because you've already initiated something. You're in a space of what we might call initial celebration and success. And I think you're fired up, you're passionate about it. You are being asked to, it's like continue on that avenue of success, embrace your success, honour it, celebrate it, share the success as well. It's, you know, success also involves the things we receive from others. It's like, again, it's this keeping your vision in in mind, taking the actions to continue to manifest it. But be very thoughtful about the people around you who support you. You know, stop and cherish them and appreciate their contribution to you. Forgiveness of others. This is really interesting because the Three of Wands also speaks sometimes of forgiveness. And it comes with the card of gossip and drama. Right, okay. It doesn't really matter which way these sit. They're sitting in a parallel position. So when you really start to step up and you see the benefits of your success, you will inevitably attract some degree of envy from people. There are always people who would like more, but, I mean, you know, we're all on our own pathway, but there will always be people who would like more, but they're not, maybe they're just not ready to step up, or wherever they are, or they feel they can't, or they haven't yet developed the skills. Sometimes when we do well, people step up and their envy becomes targeted in a negative way. Now, envy is an amazing emotion if it is used as a source of inspiration. You know, I know all the people that I think are amazing, I kind of aspire to be a bit more like them. I see people who are really achieving, and for me they are inspirational. The honest truth is I'm also a little bit envious of them. I'm envious of their success. So it's like owning this paradox and recognizing that when we own our emotions, Seven of Earth, it's very much about a balance of mind and emotions. Mindfulness, allowing ourselves to be able to process our emotional depths and channel that energy. The card of gossip and drama. Talking behind people's backs is one of the greatest producers of negative energy, with the potential to affect not only individuals but entire communities. Make a choice not to involve yourself in this. This card also asks that if you are unable to find anything positive to say, then please consider saying nothing. Forgiveness of others. Forgiveness does not mean that something bad that happened to us was okay. Forgiveness means that we choose to move beyond the experience and to release any ongoing need for retribution. In doing so, we no longer need to keep the memory of what happened alive within us. This choice reinstates our entitlement to be in charge of our own lives. Guys, when people put you down or are envious, and the same happens, it's within us too, we all have this capacity. We can sort of slate people or put them down, or even passively put them down, kind of demean or diminish their achievements. You're stepping into a space of genuine achievement and the potential for more achievement, more success and more abundance. The way is clear for you. Six of Swords. For sure, there's still some choppy waters around, but you can see where you're going. You have a clarity. You've had the breakthrough moment. You're needing to hold your own vision, but don't be drawn into the stuff. Do you know when people behave badly or say horrible things, it's so easy to then dwell on that, to get bound up in wanting them to change or wishing they hadn't said that, or, you know, but in a way we're then kind of creating more of the same, we're fueling it. And, you know, again, it's so easy to retaliate and think, well, you've said that, I'll say that about you, you know, and it's almost instinctive. One kind of emotion often draws out the same in us. You are being asked to hold that higher position. Mindfulness with emotional awareness. Guys, really, really tune in. Don't lose sight of your vision, whatever you do. As I said, this is such an affirmation of your achievements, your success. Just forgive people if they are not in the same zone as you and they are envious of you. Some of them I also hear, they may also be feeling like they're going to lose you. You're going to move ahead and be successful and forget all about them. These are the kinds of fears that again create this gossip and drama, where people put people down. That doesn't have to be the case, although if people are behaving very badly, you may choose to walk away. But you know, often success generates a mixed bag of stuff. in the attitudes towards us from others, and you are being asked, yeah, don't lose sight of your own achievements, celebrate your achievements, but also don't kind of get into a zone where you're angry about people's attitudes, because that can then sort of start to shift us into what I would call sort of ego desires for success. You know, it's kind of like, I'll show you, rather than actually I am walking this pathway and I'm bringing and manifesting things into the world from a place of desire, a place of an attunement with my higher self, where I wish to manifest and bring forth my greatest contribution. The energy is really different. And so that's really, you know, the key that underpins the affirmation of your success here. But so much more potential is coming to you, so many more opportunities. And I think your recognition of your entitlement to take an ownership of your success in every possible way. Immerse yourself in your success. Hold your future vision, but don't go running off in such a goal-orientated way that you miss the celebration of the moment. Guys, this is a I'm fascinated by this. And we have this wonderful energy. I really need to touch base with the energy of Green Aventurin again, because Green Aventurin removes energy blocks and really almost surrounds us with, I always feel when I sit in the presence of this angel, as if somebody has placed a cloak around me. It allows me to keep my own energy clean, to remain centered within myself, to perhaps sometimes to take the higher road, to hold the higher vision. And therefore to not be in a space of retaliation. There's so much nurture, so much love. And it's a wonderful energy to sit in. I can actually feel it as I'm talking. It's why I needed to connect back in with this. For me, it really holds and embodies us in this space of sort of connectedness where we can also still hold our higher vision as well. And yet remain grounded and be truly human, kind of all simultaneously. It's really wonderful energy. Guys, so much love to you. If any of the runes or cards, if you're really drawn to them, there is a page on my website now where I've listed and photographed every pack of cards, so if you want to find them and the runes, you'll be able to do so. The link is in the information box below. And for the Art of Manifestation cards that I had hoped would be birthed in January, there's been a delay. You may have heard me speaking about this in other readings, but the delay, I believe there is always purpose and reason behind it, and curiously I've been led, it wasn't the cards that caused the delay, they are stunning, it was the booklet that came with them. The quality wasn't really where we wanted it to be. It's really interesting, the delay has caused us to connect to an amazing supplier that uses everything comes from renewable sources or recycled sources. So and the quality is stunning. Very, very small kind of business. So lovely to be connecting in with them. And so I will keep you posted. For anyone that's wanting and has been emailing me about these cards, there's now an email list that you can register with. If you put your email address down, you will be the first to know of any progressions. There will also be an opportunity, because the first run of these will be a limited edition run. Oh, runes are speaking. I don't know if you heard that, just shifting away. It will be a limited edition run, and so you will have an opportunity to reserve a pack and also to pre-order at a discounted rate if that's something that is interested for you or interesting to you. Guys, so much love. Own your success. Celebrate yourselves. You have work to be here. The key is just this centeredness, this groundedness, but the energy of this is around you. If you have a wobble in the face of something that people have said or do around you, connect back in and connect and tune in with the energy of the Green Aventurin. You may want to actually access Green Aventurin to carry with you. Wonderfully nurturing, sort of cleansing energy that just wraps itself around you. I'm literally feeling like I'm bathing in it as I'm speaking. Guys, namaste. So much love to you all.